सुख दुखे समे कृत्वा लाभा लाभौ जया जयो ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं papam vapsyasi. Hello friends, this is the 38th shlok of the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and in today's video we will understand this shlok in detail. So let's go over its meaning first. So the shlok says Sukh dukhe same kritva, which means doing the same in happiness and sorrow, labha labho jaya jayo, in gain and loss, in victory and defeat, tato yuddhaya yujyasva, which means in such a way participate in this war, nevam papam vapsyasi, which means you will never accrue sin. So in this shlok, Shri Krishna is telling Arjun that you should participate in this war with an attitude that you do not really care about your own uh, happiness or sorrow, your gain or loss, your victory or defeat. If you will do it like that, then you will not accrue any sin. So in the first chapter, we see how Arjun says that if he will participate in this war, then he will kill his own loved ones, and by doing that, he is going to accrue sin. So, with respect to that doubt that Arjun has, here Shri Krishna is telling him that no, you will not accrue sin if you participate in this war with detachment. When you are not including your own personal gain in this action, then you will not accrue sin. So this is an idea which is central to the Indian way of thinking, where all our philosophies, including Buddhism, Jainism, which are the philosophies which are heterodox, even they also talk about this, that you should act in a manner which is detached. So you are not really attaching your own personal gain to any action. This is a very important idea, and we all have to live our life like this. So I can explain to you with an example. So in the previous shlok, yesterday's shlok, we talked about how cultivating good sanskars lead to our rise, and the cultivation of bad samskars lead to our fall. So when we talk about the karmic law of cause and effect, it mostly happens because of this cultivation of samskars. Whenever we are performing any action, that action to a certain extent registers in our own behavior, and it determines our future actions also. So as an example, if you eat sweet food, then you find it tasty, and when you find it tasty, you want to eat it again. If I were to give you something which is bitter, then you will not find it tasty, and when you'll not find it tasty, you will not want to eat it in future. So by your current action, you have influenced your future action. Now if you were the ones who did not really care too much about the taste of the food, because you are not really worried too much about your pleasure or your pain, then if I were to give you a sweet food or your bitter food, you will not really care too much about it. You will just eat it, and then this will not affect your future action. So when you live a detached life, you burn your sanskars. Basically your own likings and your own dislikings, they slowly start to fade away. These sanskars have actually formed over a long period of time. So our liking towards the sweet food to a certain extent is our sanskar, which has been accrued over many lives. We all know why we like sweet food. It's because it is full of carbohydrates, which gives us a lot of energy quickly. And so in the old times, when the food was such that it was not easy to extract sugar out of things, so we used to rarely get any sweet food. It was mostly used to be a regular food. Whenever we used to get sweet food, then that sweet food used to feel very good because it used to give us instant energy. And so it was something which was important for our survival, and therefore we developed a liking to that sweet food. Whoever used to have an access to the sweet food, they used to have better survival rates. And so this attachment to sweet food has grown over many times. So nowadays we think that, oh, sweet food is good, sweet food is good. But the reality is that it's not the sweet food which in itself is pleasurable. It's basically the consequences that come out of that sweet food which are the ones which lead to our pleasure. So we have to understand this thing, that a thing or an experience in itself is not, it is not good or bad or pleasurable in itself. It's basically the consequences that come out of it which really make them pleasurable and painful. And so the person who develops a detachment to these consequences, and he understands the underlying source of the happiness that we are feeling, that person will not be blown away by his own emotions in terms of interacting with this universe. So, if I understand that eating sweet food is just an samskar inside me which has grown over many, many years, and now that the sweet food is available so easily, and if I eat too much sweet food, then it is going to cause my degradation of health, then as a wise person, I will not really care too much about eating the sweet food. So I have distanced myself with regards to interacting with this universe for my own pleasure. So when you behave in a way where uh, you are not blown away by the experiences you are getting, and you have a neutral attitude towards all your experiences, and you are behaving in a way where you are using your own intellect to do a certain thing without detachment, then that is how you will attain freedom from this bondage. That is how you will attain freedom from the liking of sweet food. Then, if the sweet food comes in front of you, you will not just mindlessly start eating it. You will think about it, and then you will take an action. So, that is what is the right behavior when you are free of all these samskars. When you will do that, then you will not be performing any sin, because then your action is something which is coming from the divine source itself. It's not your own hunger to consume things, it's not your own hunger to win over others, dominate over others. It's basically a wisdom which your inner divinity is telling you, and you'll start behaving like that. So that is why Sri Krishna is telling over here to Arjun that if you will participate in this war, and you deep down you know that this war is a righteous war, and the reason why you're backing off from it is because of your attachment to the warriors on the other side. So if you will look at this war from a neutral point of view, where you do not really care about your own pleasure or pain, then you will see the correct thing in this war, and so in that sense you should participate in this war. So I hope that I have explained this shlok well to you. With that, I'll close this video. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.